Fli-City got some dogs in it, dogs in it. Fli-City come off authentic, authentic. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the. Rain may come, we cover for it, it's a cover charge. Cover charge. Pain come in, we force ourselves to be stronger for it. Be stronger for it. Northside slum, prison beds, and I'm better for it. I'm better for it. Representing Fli-City, now make some noise. Random corners, pushing packs. Looking back, hand ups, ain't seen no pass. Fli-City got a city tax. Body bags, ski masks. Crying waves, I speak to God. City giving rich vibes. Beat knocks through the speaker box, we don't speak a lot, just move around. Water dirty, streets dirty, whip clean. We okay, we grew up all survival schemes, rider dreams, Lion King. The jungle seems like peace to me. Struggle led to victories, now picture me 6 months out, I'm on my feet. On the business, talks with Maddie, on the business. Run the city, leak with all the owners in it. Minus since we bless the city with our agenda. Hustlers, open finish, all that deals is open to us. Just push a lane, this crooked man, and we straighten out. We straighten out, but they tearing down. North side, south side, east side, west side, peace signs. We try to get this city, so get west side, north side, south side, east side, west side, Fli-City, south side, east side, Fli-City got some dogs in it, dogs in it, dogs in it. Fli-City come off authentic, authentic, authentic. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. Fli-City got some dogs in it, dogs in it, dogs. Fli-City come off authentic, authentic, authentic. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce. We light it up like sauce in the sauce in the sauce.
My city experiencing the transition from penny pinching, maximizing our dollars, multiply triple digits. I came a long way from baby jars in a project kitchen. Nowadays I read grab charts and just mind my business. All praise to the Most High, how this young king living. Resurrecting the spirit of Osiris, how I'm living. Hustle and motivate your local hope dealer. I'm on tour right now, and I'm dope with it. They lied to us, stole assets, still in crisis
mode.
Water warriors like 1,001, we will not fold. I'm sick of fugazi leaders and career politicians. The father said people perish due to lack of vision. It's time to rise, black lives, baby, it's on the flow. Better back, no 9 to 5, only 10 to 4. A city of monsters, a bunch of go-getters. We don't rock with starters, we too authentic. Authentic starters, we too authentic. We don't rock with starters, we too authentic. Authentic starters, we too authentic. We don't rock with 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 starters, we too authentic. That's it.
Men's meet. We on? Am I live, Mickey?
For sure, you live.
We on. Welcome. You know what it is, Wednesday, men's meeting. You know, we picking up how we pick it up, man. I'm in traffic right now, headed home, but still got to do what we got to do. We at 7 o'clock today, so we ain't gonna hold you too long. But like I say, the goal we still got the call out. The call is still for those that wanna be a part of doing something in this community to bring back the safety to this community, as well as bring back our money, our black dollars, putting money back into this community and requiring that all these entities, businesses, churches, and things of the such that have constantly and continually taken our money and we have patronized and spent so much money in these places. And right now we're requiring that they get back to the community. And we just asking for those that want to be a part of these actions and these moves to make that happen. Like I say, to just come and be a part, man, make themselves available, and let's get it done. Now, as I said before, the call for this will not be too long. We will continue to have a men's meeting, but it won't be. It will after February. It won't be the call to get people to get involved. after February, we'll be planning our moves, and that will not be streamed. That would, as they say, revolution will not be televised. That won't be televised because we won't want the left hand know what the right hand doing and get into those meetings. But we will continue to have the men's meeting just for the opportunity for uplifting for the men in the community, as well as so we can get an understanding of what people may be going through. Because you may not be going through what I'm going through as a man in this community or a woman in this community. You may not be dealing with what I'm dealing with. I might not understand or know what you are dealing with. But we are offering a platform for you to be able to get that across so we can address these measures and find ways to combat these measures and the sorts of what have you. And that's our goal, is to raise the quality of life in our communities. And the only way to do that, as we so eloquently put it, the only way to do that is for us to come together ourselves and do it ourselves. The only way it's gonna get done. Other than that, no one else is looking out for the quality of life in our community, because it's not their community. This is our community. So since it's only our community, we have to be the ones that actually step up and do something about it. And so that's what we're looking for, that's what we're searching for, and that's what we're expecting from our Black brothers and sisters here in this community, man. Start being a part and let's get it done. So if you have anything that you're going through, dealing with, or anything that's bothering you, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us, man. Don't hesitate to speak on it and speak about it. We would like to address it, man, because your problems is my problems, and so forth and so on. And I know right now a lot of men is dealing with the family court system, with the situation that's going on there. And we've been speaking about the family court system and how you get played as a man there at the family court system. And no one is happy about that. We have to understand that we already know that the system was not meant for Black people, and especially for the Black man. And the only time it worked is when it's working against you. The system does work, but it works against you. It never can work for you. It always works against you. So as long as we have that understanding, we have to get out of the mindset that we need this system and that we need to continue to lean on this system. And as I tell people so many times, like, I'm through. You will not see me with a go out and vote, go to vote type t-shirts, or me pushing that no more either, because we've done fought, clawed, got beat, hosed, bit by dogs, all type of stuff. All this to get our voting rights, time after time. We've had them in the early 1900s in certain states, then they got took away because they were scared of the so-called the Negro rule. They were scared of that. They didn't want Negroes to be in rulership in this country, nowhere in rulership. So we voted, and we chased that right to vote for so long. And what have it given us? What has it given us? The people we put in office, even that's brothers, they sell out because the white folks offer them some money. And so they sell out, and so we lose them. So where has it gotten us? Nowhere. The system is not for you. It wasn't created for you. It was created to keep you below their race. It's always been like that. The only time we see real prosperity, real wealth, real community, real village, the only time we get to see that is when we have done it on ourselves, done it by ourselves and for ourselves. So when you get to talk about communities like Colfax, Louisiana in the early 1900s, you talk about Atlanta in the early 1900s, you talk about Rosewood, those communities, and so many, the St. John's community here in the 50s and 60s, and here in Flint, those communities were self-sufficient, Black-ran communities that relied on each other, had their own schools, had their own churches, had their own stores. These was tradesmen and all that. One community that sticks out the most as I did in history, one community I love to read about the most is Wilmington. Wilmington, late 1800s, 1890s to 1900. At that time, there were 25,000 people in Wilmington, North Carolina. It was the biggest city in North Carolina. And so at the time, more than 50% were black. More than 50% were black. And so they started running their own community. They had so many things going on, man. The schools, the trade, they was tradesmen and things like that. And they had the massacre against them because of the prosperity and the wealth of black folks at the time. And so we have to be conscious of that. Now, as we seek our own community, we have to be also prepared to protect it. That's my point on why I bring up the massacres. We have to also be willing to protect it. And the reason I say is because one of the reasons we haven't sought after our own community is, I believe, this fear. Because when you look at all, we were not defending our own community.
Darius, you in the Matrix right now.
We
Darius, Darius, you got a bad signal wherever you driving at.
to get in a place where we are in direct defense for our own community, man. Hello? Man, my service had went down, man. I don't know what's going on. I went through Mount Morris. Can you hear me, Dewan?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, coming through Mount Morris, man. Service got the acting up.
I see.
But I was talking about, I was already talking about the, you know, what's going on, just what's going on in the community.
Y'all,
What's up, Mick?
you still live?
Okay, yeah. And we're just talking about what's been going on in the community and why the call is for, you know, the call is still going for people to step up, because how we know the system, we ain't gonna get no love in the system, no way. So we got to figure this out on our own, apart from the system, you know. And the only way we're
Hey, hold
gonna be
on,
able to
Rick.
do that.
Hey, Dewan, y'all go ahead. I gotta make a run. Go ahead. I'll be back in a
Yeah.
second.
And so the only way we really gonna be able to do that is to get everybody on board.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get people on board to get in. Like, we supposed to in order for us to get our own community, people got to be on board. People got to buy in to the fact that, one, that is needed, for one, and two, that they got to be understanding that not only do we need that, but we have to be able to protect that community, because the reason a lot of the black communities didn't stay is because they were attacked, and we didn't have the means to protect it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now we gotta make sure we have the means to be able to protect these communities as well.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. Whatever your investments is and your assets, you have to protect your assets.
Exactly.
Everything we own in our community, from our property to our land, to
Got to be able to protect it.
you know, even down to the people. You know, we have to have a force that's out there that's protecting and upholding the law, or at least providing some sense of order. So.
Right. And so I was explaining them about that. Like, if we can, if we can, specify right there. If we can get to a point of protection, for one, if we can get to a point where we get enough people to buy into the fact that it's needed, that our own community is needed. I understand, you know, black folks been traumatized, so it's a little fear when it comes to that. You know, man, they gonna come, they gonna shut it down. They gonna do this, they gonna do that. Well, you gotta protect it, because they protecting theirs. They protecting theirs by all means necessary. Locking you up, locking us up, throwing away the key, all that. They protecting theirs by all means necessary. So we gotta be willing to do the same. Protect it by any means necessary, you know. And however that comes, we have to train people how to defend themselves, however it comes. Like, we got to be on top of all of that. But one of the big reasons, one of the big effects that we have, and that I'm dealing with now, and like I say, I was telling people, you know, one of the reasons why the call is to get more people activated in this is because my issue, I might have issues I'm dealing with. Dewan, you got issues you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Other men got issues that neither one of us is dealing with. But if we don't have nowhere to bring that to the table and have a defense for everybody, then it does us no good. So I'm trying to let people know, like, listen, this the platform. You can bring this to the table, because we trying to find ways to combat whatever you going through, however you've been affected, whatever's not right, whatever's not lining up, whatever you need help with. We're trying to find ways to combat that. So, like I was telling you today about Clio High School. So Clio, out here at Clio High School, and they got people at the front desk. One of the ladies at the front desk is Miss Idaleski. Miss Idaleski. I sat and I watched her, the way she treated the black students compared to the way she treated the white students. I watched her. I intervened with one of the young black brothers, like we talked
Mm-hmm.
about earlier, Dewan, because I seen how he was finna react to the way he was treated. So I didn't want him. I didn't want him to get out of control because that's also what they looking for too. So they can be like, oh, look at a little black boy out of control. So I didn't want him. I wanted him to keep his composure. So I just kind of intervened, not with her, but talking to him. Just how you doing, young brother? What's going on? And so talking to him, then talking to another young black sister that goes to school out there. The dynamic of the way they're treated by staff is the same. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, that do be
It's horrible.
a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah,
If
and
the
so
small amount of students in there don't feel like they can be comfortable
at all.
around an environment around, when they outnumbered, and the administration
And
is not making it any better, that's been an
yeah,
issue. That's an issue.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That will make it harder for them to come in there, ask for help.
Yeah, and what upsets me is by design because they don't. The reason they want to make you feel uncomfortable because one, they don't want you there in the first place, and the reason that upsets me is because it's like, how dare you be able to tell make somebody feel uncomfortable until you run them out? Like, who are you to do that? Like, you don't. It's not your land. It's God's earth. Who are
Right.
you to be like you don't belong out here in Clio? This a white city, and we're gonna keep it white. And if you come out here, you can come out, but we're gonna give you a hard time to where you don't want to be here.
Right.
And
That's
so
true,
me I try to get staff to understand today. I say, man, 2%, if not less than that. They got over 800 students in the school, and they got like between 10 and 15 black students. So that's less than 2%. You see what I'm saying? So I tell them, I say, it's not hard for y'all to be able to get y'all black students and sit them down and ask them, how do they feel with their education here in this school? It's not hard to do that because you don't have a lot of them. And I said, the fact that you haven't done that, in fact, there's nobody has done that, even with the narrative of Clio. Because if you talk about the Clio district, you talk about the Clio district, what's the first thing people say about it? My daughter heard me. My youngest daughter heard me. She said racist. First thing she said was racist.
Of course.
Racism, discrimination. You can look it up, read the reviews. You got white kids, they got good things about the reviews. But all the colored kids got the same reaction to the school, the district, the staff, how they treated by staff, all that. Same reaction. And that's because they really don't want them out there. They really don't want them out there, right? So because of that, so now I had a conversation. Remember I told you I had that conversation with the superintendent Spears, where I told you that I let them know, like, man, we willing to come up there and get a program after school and talk to them about black culture and black race. We willing to talk to them about that. You know what I'm saying? We can come up and do that. And remember I told you, and he told me, okay, I'm gonna bring that to the board, and I'll get back with you in a couple days.
Yeah.
That was like almost 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's true.
Have a call back, not a nothing. So that was a lie to my face. And you remember how they lied to us when we went up there, had to sit down with them and all that. And they lied and said what they was gonna do. I was in the school today. I didn't see no posters that Principal Ayers, the principal out there, one of the principals, told me that would be up. About black culture and about understanding black race and what was acceptable and what they wasn't going to accept when it came to black kids and all this type of stuff. And told me that they was putting them up and how he had tons of posters, not one. Find out they got 4 in the whole building. Now that school is huge, one of the biggest high schools I've been through. Only got 4 in the whole building. My daughter had showed me a bench. They got this bench in there. It's painted black. On one side, it got blacks, and on the other side, it got Jews on the bench. In the school, blacks and Jews, right? And my daughter sent me a picture of this over a month ago. She brought it to my attention.
What was that? What did that picture depict? What did that picture depict?
All it is, it's a black bench. It's all black bench, and it just say one side got blacks, say blacks, just like that, the word blacks, and the other say the word Jews. Now, what's concerning is black is a race. Jewish is not a race. Like you got Caucasian Jews, that will say they Jews. You got black people that's Jews. You know what I'm saying? Jewish is not necessarily a race in itself or a color. So they differentiate. They said this is for the black, this is for blacks, and that was for Jews. And my daughter sent me a picture of it over a month and a half ago of this bench. And it didn't have no description on it at first. When she let it be known that she was bothered about it, now they put up a description on it and say, oh, this was a project that we was doing in the school. That haven't been on that bench. They didn't have no description saying that. Now all of a sudden they got the description. So now I got both the pictures. I got the picture without this description where they trying to cover up whatever they was doing, and then I got the picture with it or whatever or what have you. So just a lot of fallacies and lies up there, man. Whole staff just lied. Wozniak, the one that I was vouching for, that remember I was saying he seemed all right, we can be talked to, just verbatimly lied to me today and thought that him saying, well, I own up to it, I was wrong, I lied, was going to be enough, but I was going to be okay. Took everything in me not to put my hands on. I didn't want to go that route. Like, I was close, but I'm like, so what happened was, they didn't want me going through the school raising hell with all my daughter teachers. Because these teachers already, they backdoored my daughter. They've been backdooring my daughter. They didn't put all her grades in, and then they shot her transcripts to this other school because they knew she was transferring. So they didn't put all her grades in. And you only get credit for the class if you do the exam. If you don't do the exam, you don't get no credit. And the agreement with them was that, okay, we're going to finish these exams out before y'all send these transcripts over to this other school.
Right.
They didn't obey that agreement. They went ahead and tried to shoot them transcripts over without the exams. And so what happened was when the other school got it, she didn't get her credit. And so I get a call from the other school. And so that would get me up to Clio today. And so while I'm up there, we going through paperwork, we going through grades and stuff through the classes. And there's stuff on there that I know that my daughter did, that she ain't got no credit for. That I know she did because I watched her up night after night after night cramming this work in. But she don't have no credit for it. It's just no credit. And I'm like, and they like, well, maybe she failed. Maybe she didn't do good on these tests, on these homework. I said, whether she passed or not, or even if she didn't do good on it, it would still be a score there. Y'all don't have a score there. It would still be, if she got a 13%, it would be a score. You see what I'm saying? That's a score. No scores, though. And so we go to this teacher. We go to the teacher, Mr. Healy. That's his name, Mr. Healy. And then come to find out he under investigation. They say he ain't been doing his job as a teacher, and he's still teaching. So I go to the teacher, Mr. Healy, and I talk to Healy, and I say, we trying to figure out what's going on with the class and the grades. So my daughter like, you don't have none of my makeup work on there. Like all the makeup work and homework I did, you didn't even put the grades on it. His words to me at the time was, I basically I dropped the ball on that. I don't think I put it in yet. And so I'm looking at him like, you a teacher, how you not do your job? That you not doing your job affects my daughter. So I'm doing this while the school police officer is standing right there and the principal, they begging me like, man, please don't cause all this trouble, don't interrupt classes and stuff like that. So they give me another route. They say, man, you can come up during planning hour. All the teachers got planning hour. So they tell me I can come up during these planning hours, and my wife. And so as I'm looking at the time frame for the planning hours, I'm looking at those time frames for the planning hours, and I make agreement with Principal Wozniak. He's the principal at Clio High School. Make an agreement with him at the time I will come up to meet these teachers. So Wozniak tells me, he said, man, the teachers. He come back and he say, look, I got even one better. You come up here at 2:30, all the teachers agreed to sit down. We all sit down together, and then we can all talk about it and get to the bottom of what's going on to get all the grades situated and together. That was the agreement. When I get there to talk to Mr. Wozniak, when I get there to talk to him and talk to all these teachers, none of the teachers is present. And Mr. Wozniak's response to me is, I dropped the ball, man. I made a decision that it would be best that if we didn't sit down with the teachers, because you was a little contentious when you was up here today. And usually our conversations is not contentious, but today you was contentious. We dealing with a staff, a whole school that could care less about the way they treat the young black students there at that school. And when I address it, and we have an opportunity for y'all to be a catalyst to change Clio High School. We had the opportunity to be catalyst to change Superintendent Spears. When you lie to me and tell me that you're going to talk to the board about what we discussed, when you lie like that to me, how can a parent trust you over their students? How can you be a superintendent and you lying to parents? You didn't have to tell me that. You didn't have to tell me that you was going to do anything. You could have said, no, I'm not going to do nothing. No, I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm not talking to him. Because the agreement was you would bring up to the board that Black Lives Matter, that you would let them know we are willing to come up and talk to the school after school, be it, or in the seminars, to talk to the school about Black culture, about Black history, how you deal with black people. We was willing to come up to talk to the school about that. And the agreement with this principal, with the Superintendent Ayers, the agreement was that he would bring that to the board and he would have a conversation with me after he had talked to the board. The fact that he never called me lets me know that he never brought that up to the board. So we're dealing with a whole they got a teachers union, so the teachers can do whatever they want to do and get away with it, obviously. And that's on the principal admitted that. He said it's hard to do anything to these teachers because of the union. So we're dealing with a teachers union. We're dealing with a superintendent that's willing to lie to a parent, basically to get him off the phone. We're dealing with other staff members that's willing to lie to a parent just to get him off the phone. And the way I feel like they just coddled the black man. We were coddled an angry black man, tell him whatever you want to hear to get him out the building.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they haven't dealt with no real pushback. You see what I'm saying? And I had to let them know today. I said, well, you got to, y'all, sorry, but y'all got the right one. I'm not letting it go. I'm not going to let it go. Even after I remove my daughter, I'm not letting it go. Y'all not getting away with this. So they're not used to any pushback.
Right.
So, when I see the ladies at the front desk, Miss Albowski, Miss Karen Love. Karen Love, I have to say I didn't see much on Karen Love when it came to the treatment because she didn't address too many of the students because she would be most of the time at her computer just doing work. But Miss Albowski was the one. She was very talkative and addressed the students. And I sat for 20, 30 minutes and watched how she treated the Caucasian students compared to the black students. And so before the whole night was over, before I left, after talking to Wozniak, he explained to me why he was so sorry for lying to me and not having all the teachers down there and all this nonsense. As I leave out the office, Clio High School, Becky. Clio High School. This is Clio High School I'm talking about. And I'm naming the names. Superintendent Spears, racist. Principal Ayers, racist as they come, lied to me on the phone when I tried to talk to him today. Oh, I gotta go. And then I see him 15, 20 minutes later still in the school building. Liar, he's a racist. Could care less about black kids. Principal Wozniacki, he's the one. He's the buffer. So what they do is they will put him in. Can you hear me? And I hate when somebody call. Okay, Principal Wozniak, he's the buffer. They the one. They put him in front of you. He's in his mid-30s. They're gonna put him in front of you. He talked to you, and he know how to talk. So he talked to you. He's going to lie to you because he's lied to my face multiple times now. And he's going to tell you something to kind of coddle you so you can kind of feel like, okay, you got somebody on your side. And then you'll find out he lied to you. And his favorite line is, I own up to that lie. I lied. I own up to it. That don't do me no good. You can't keep lying and say you're going to just own up to it. And so as I'm leaving out, I addressed Miss Albowski. I addressed her. She sits at the front desk in Clio High School. If you go into Clio High School, you press the buzzer to go in. As soon as you go through the door, you're going to see Miss Albowski. I addressed her about the way I noticed her treatment towards and the way she speaks to the white kids and the black kids. And I tell her, I say verbatim, I say, man, I sat here and watched you for 30 minutes. And I watched how you treat the black kids comparing to the white kids. Y'all better put y'all children in Flint public schools. We can heal our this shit together. Yeah, right. I agree. I agree, but one thing that got to be done is, even with the Flint public schools, there are still those people that are in positions in the Flint public schools that are draining the Flint public schools, that are not helping the Flint public schools. So even those people have to be removed also. And the fact that to feel like and the reason my kids go to Clio school because I stay in Clio. So and like I was saying, Becky, when you come out, if ever a black family dare to move outside of Flint and live somewhere outside of Flint, they are made to feel uncomfortable because they are basically their way of saying, you're not welcome here. Go back to where you belong. Who's to say I could just stay in Flint? I love Flint, but who's to say that's where I'm just supposed to stay at? Like, all this land is God's land. I could live wherever I please. And there shouldn't have to be fallback. My children should be able to go to any school that's open and not have to deal with them not having a good learning environment. All our schools should be able to do that. All schools, all our students should be able to do that. Go to any school they choose to, whatever is feasible to the parents. If you happen to have to move out of Flint and you move somewhere else, your student, if you move out to Source Creek, because you have a job out there, say, and you want to live close to your job, and you go out to Source Creek, your children should not feel like they don't belong there. It's not fair that to be told like, yeah, we're gonna make them feel uncomfortable till they're not there no more. We don't do that. The Flint public schools don't do that. And Dewan, you can attest to that too, because we went to a school that was a melting pot, a meshing pot. It had all type of races up there. Mexicans, whites, Puerto Ricans, we had everybody. We wasn't chasing the white kids out to school and making them feel unwanted and calling them, running up and down the hall, calling them hunkies and pink this and then doing all type of crazy stuff to the white folks.
Right.
You was just people to us.
Exactly. Real talk.
You didn't get treated for your color. You treated people based on your character, really. You know what I'm saying? You was either solid or you wasn't solid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So the black schools don't do that. So if we just sit back and allow these outskirt schools to continue to run it however they want to run it, and like you say, Becky, I understand what you say. I'm bringing them to Flint public schools. All these schools should be available and open for our kids. And they should be able to have a good, safe learning environment. Kids gonna be kids. We talking about staff now. We talking about staff making these kids not feel welcome. And then when I say something to a lady like Miss Ilbowski, Ilbowski, Ilbaski, that's how you spell her name. When I addressed her and to tell her, like, man, I watched the way you treated these young black students and the white students different, and the way you addressed them. Just by the a black kid coming in and her address to him is, "What do you want?" And a white kid coming in and her address to him is, "Can I help you?" That right there is underlying things right there. People say, "Oh, you looking too far into it?" No, not looking far enough into it, because all like I told her, I say actions. That's all I go off of. What I see you do, that's what I can go off of. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. Oh, I ain't racist, and then walk around with carrying a noose and the word nigga on your back, but you ain't racist. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. I'm going off what I see. And so when I tell her, I say, you're gonna have to deal with me. First thing she do, like they love to do about all black folks. You threatening me. You just threatened me. That's what she said. Oh, you just threatened me. Y'all hear that? Just a threat. I'm not banging that. That's what you think. That's what I told her. I said, that's what you think. Then all y'all can take it how y'all want to take it and deal with it how y'all plan to don't deal with it. Then I'm not going to explain it no further. Right. But you will see me and you will have to deal with it.
There you go.
And she took that as a threat because it's a big black man saying, speaking up. So that becomes a threat.
Now, you know what, though?
So these are the things that I want that we need to be able to address. And not just because it's my child that's going through it, because now I'm removing mine out the school. Now I'm thinking about the other black kids that's not able to be removed, or the parents that don't know that they can do anything. That's what I'm thinking about now. Because there's only a handful of black kids that's there. So they don't have nobody there for their aid. And man, it saddened me to see this young black brother when he came in there just to ask if he could go to his locker. Like, he was so hesitant to even speak to him. You could see it on his face that he was just like, man, He was dreading doing it, Dewan. It was all over his face. He was dreading it. Like, he was just like, and I'm looking at him. I already knew someone. I'm just watching. And they to him was like, "What you need? What do you want?" Like, man, I just want to go to my locker. I just bought this homecoming ticket. I just want to put it in my locker so I won't lose. No, go back to where you came from. He looked and I knew he was ready. I said, "Little bro, let me holler at you, little bro. Little bro, let me holler at you. So how you doing today, man?" He just shook his head. I said, "How long you been in the district, man?" He said, 6 years, man. 6 years. And he was saying that like he was pressed. He said that like a dude, like a man on a prison yard where you ask, "How long you been down?" "I've been down about 10, bro, man." You know what I'm saying? He said that like he was on a prison yard. He's like, man, 6 years, man. He was stressed. Why he was stressed. I'm like, man, it's been like that. He's like, man. And when they seen us talking, they yelled at him again. "You need to go back to where?" And I just told him, I said, "Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, little bro. Go ahead, little bro." Now, as he left off, as he walked out the office, I'm watching him. He talking to himself. Ain't no telling what he said. He probably cussing her out, all type of stuff. But he told, he walking away as he doing it. I'm thinking like, man. And it just made me think like he don't have nobody up here fighting for him right now at the time. I'm not saying his parents don't care enough about him. They could be busy, or they just don't know that they got that they even got any advocate, anybody that will stand with them.
Right.
So I wanted to be known to all the black parents in Cloud, or any colored student, any of the students that's dealing with discrimination out there. That you reach out, because I'm standing with you. I'm ready to go against the whole school, the district, all that, because they could care less about the way things are going.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if we don't get to the point where we start protecting our black kids and we let them know, look, I'm gonna put it all on the line for you. We're not gonna let them bother your future. If we don't let them know this, then we failures. We failures. And I just let my mother know. Even let my daughter know that I feel horrible for sending her to Clio's High School. I feel horrible now. I feel horrible. I feel like I failed my daughter for sending her there because it was not conducive to her growth and her future at all. She had the worst experience of her life has been going to Clio High School these last this semester. It's the worst experience in school is her in her life.
Yes.
People talk bad about her for schools, how bad the students is, but she is never an experience like this, man. Staff, man. We talking about staff. So we can't allow things like this to continue. Like, either we are who we say we are, kings and queens. Either we are who we say we are for our people, for our children. Either we are who we say we are or we not. So like I say, I'm moving against Clio with or without a crew, with or without a team. I know who I got. I don't mean that towards, Dewan and my brothers and Black Lives Matter. I know who gonna move. I'm talking about with or without the actions of the community becoming a part of it. With or without you, I'm still gonna move on behalf of our black children.
Right.
Even yours, even if those that don't have it in them to move for their own children. We moving for them too.
Right.
You can still reach out to us. If you don't want to get involved in it, you don't have to. Talk to us. We'll move for you.
Right.
We moving for you because we love you and we love your children. Your children are like, I look at them like mine too, because I need you to look at mine like they're yours if I'm not around.
No.
I'm fighting for yours too. And when I say I'm fighting for them, I'm willing to put it all on the line for these young black women and boys and girls. I'm willing to put it all on the line for them.
And the brothers.
It's nothing. No limit. I won't go. I'm gonna put it all on the line for them. You're not getting Clio High School. You're not getting away with it. Then you're not getting away with it. Family Court downtown 67th District. You're not getting away with it. Not getting away with it. The Circuit Court downtown, David Layton. And how y'all doing these young black brothers and sisters, and how y'all just sending people up the river and all this stuff because y'all trying to keep that money for these privatized prisons. You're not getting away with it. It's not happening. Fight back. It's time to fight back. It's just time, and we just sat mute long enough. They done hurt enough of our community, been hurt by the actions of these systems, these school systems, the public schools, the court system. Enough. We done been attacked enough, man. Enough. When you still seeing disparities in sentences between blacks and whites, enough. No, it's pressure. It's the pressure. You're going to see. Hope y'all get to know this face because you're going to see it. Pressure. Enough. And can't nobody tell me, no, there ain't the disparity. That's not true. Can't nobody tell me that because I seen it firsthand. My bunkie, Robert Johnson. Sound like a black man. This was a white man. Robert Johnson, my bunkie in the county jail, 2006. We both sat in there with charges on armed robbery. He had way more armed robberies than me. Way more. He talking about way more. And I was fighting 4 of them. He had a long list of them, Dewan. And I'm looking over, going over his transcripts, going over his charges, long list of them. Me and him thinking he finna do. We like, man, he made it in his mind. Like, I know I'm doing at least 20 years. Made that in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up with 11 years for 3 armed robberies. He ended up with 7.5 for pleading to 6 or 7 of them. And he had a prior record where he had armed robberies already on his conviction. I didn't have none of that. Got way more time than him. Ran back into him while we was locked up. And we just talked about it and discussed it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't one of those guys that wouldn't discuss it. He talked about it and discussed it. He couldn't do nothing but admit it. Like, yeah, I know. I'm white, so I got a better deal than you did. Simple as that.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
I can't.
That's a tough pill.
Your mic on, Dewan?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. It say it's on. Yeah, it say it's on, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
The people probably can hear you, but I can't.
I'm gonna go out and come back in. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna come back in.
Yeah. Go out and come back in. All right. Yeah, so when we talk about all these things, like, man, this not just for talk, it's not just for show. Like, I'm serious about we gotta go. It's time. It's time to change things. It's time to switch things up, man. It's time to get at these entities and the system that is still sitting here that is designed to take us and keep us down. Designed to make sure we don't get none of the same treatment that they get. Designed to make sure we don't get the same opportunities that they get. That's what it is. It's designed for that. It's designed that way. Don't want you to get the same opportunities that nobody else is getting. They don't want that. And then the reason they don't want that is because, one, like I said, ever since the 1800s, they have had this rule that they do not want Negroes to have rulership here in this country. They don't want us to be too smarter than them, which we already are. They don't want us to overtake anything. And the crazy thing is, when you look over time, we're not the ones doing stuff to people. Look over time, and you name a time or era where it was like, yeah, black folks went in and they took up this race, and they bound them and they raped them and they raped their men, they raped their women, they snatched newborn babies away from their mothers and sold them. They lynched them, they burned them, they cut off their private parts. They had their kids watch as they burned them while they was hanging from trees. Like, show that. When have we done that? But we the ones that get labeled as animals, as savages, as beasts, as unruly and violent. We built y'all a paradise in a country that wasn't yours, that y'all stole from us. Like, we was already here in America. Y'all stole America from us, enslaved forced us to build y'all a paradise here. Forced us to build that paradise here off our blood, sweat, and tears. Didn't get paid for it. Y'all got free labor. That's why y'all got all this wealth. That's why y'all got all this wealth. And so that's why it's not equal. They got so much wealth off us, off the backs of us. And it's still happening. Y'all will not allow, they will not, as long as we are aligned to their systems, we will never be allowed to be on their level or ever to exceed them in their system. It's designed for them. So we need our own. They bought into the fact that they bought into it, they protect it. So we need our blacks to buy into, we need our own black system, and we need to protect it. We have to buy into the same thing. And you can't, I don't hear nobody say, oh, it can't be done. It's impossible. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's been done. We just didn't have the numbers before. It's been done plenty of times. We just didn't have the numbers to protect it. And so they was always able to overwhelm us and do something about it and shut it down. Mm-hmm. But that don't have to happen again. No, it don't have to happen again. We have to be able to protect it, defend it. But we gotta be strong enough and tough enough to be like, okay, listen, we doing this thing. We doing this thing. Because it has to stop. It has to stop. So like I say, man, the call for men to step up. The call only lasts for so long, man. And then we're going into action. I also know that, a lot of y'all just waiting to see the action. And then y'all gonna join in. And I applaud that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you saying, well, I want to see what you're gonna do first. I want to see if you really go about what you're saying. If I see you moving, I'm ready to move once I see you moving. You serious. I'm okay with that. I understand that. All I'm saying is follow through, because I'm gonna follow through on what I'm saying. So I'm asking you to follow through. You're gonna join and be a part of it. Follow through or join and be a part of it, man. Let's make this happen. Let's protect our community. Let's bring safety back to our community, man. Let's bring our women and children back to safety and let them know like we got them. Like I say, man, this was one of the worst days I've had in a long time, man. I feel horrible. I feel like I let my daughter down because I let her go to this school and it backfired against her. I feel horrible. So they got to feel my wrath, and they will. I'm going to make them so uncomfortable. I'm going to make Clio so uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. So uncomfortable. They see my face. They got to deal with me. Make them so uncomfortable. Because that's what they doing to our black kids. That's what they doing to our people. They make them uncomfortable out there. So why we ain't doing the same? I'm going to make them comfortable every chance I get until they decide to change. Because I gave them the opportunity to open the door to change that. And they wouldn't do it. And like Becky Brown said, bring them back to the Flint schools. And that's all cool, but we also got people over these Flint schools and people with their hands in these Flint schools that won't release money, ain't doing right with the money. That's why we lost so much of our education. That's why they were so quick to shut down the schools. They take the kids and make them all go virtual because they didn't want to deal with the students. But Flint schools was going virtual while other schools was going in person still. That's sickening. It's sickening. So I say it's only be an hour. I thank you, Flint, for listening in, for joining. Still hoping to get more brothers to come in. You can message me on Facebook at Darius Hollins on Facebook. Email me at Hollins, HOLLINS, Darius, DARIUS 77 @gmail.com. You can reach out on Facebook to the Fli-City Blackout Show on Facebook. You can also reach out to Black Lives Matter Flint on Facebook. Reach out, man. Let us know what you going through, what you dealing with, what's bothering you, what you need help with. We here, man. Community. We back on that community and village to village concept. We here, man. We here. If you reach out to us and tell us what's going on, we're going to do whatever we can. We're going to move for you and with you. So we here. Just reach out.
Yeah,
Flint, we love you. We care for you. You are important to us.
yeah,
You
you
have
have
to
it.
reach out and let us know what's going on. I was finna close out the one.
Can you hear me now?
Letting them know, letting people know, reach out. Can't hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
I
don't know what that is. But I was closing out. We're gonna the next meeting we'll make sure I'll make sure I'm at the building. Try our best to make sure we at the building so we'll have these inconsistencies. We had to be at the building. But I say, Flint, we love you, we need you. Just be in contact all the ways I just named. Fli-City Blackout Show on Facebook. You can reach out there. Black Lives Matter Flint on Facebook. You can reach out there. Whatever you're going through, whatever your issues is, whatever you need, just reach out, let us know, man. Because we really for you. We really for this community. And we out. Blackout.